Hey everybody, it's a new day down here in the shop, and I know y'all haven't seen me in a hot minute, and I've been real busy, and I just went on a beach trip for almost a week, so I'm back now, getting some stuff done. I ended up selling the Cabriolet. Dude's coming to get it later, so I've got that pulled out, and I've got all the stuff that comes with it set out. I've got to go grab the other motor from the other side. I also picked this thing up. It's a 85, I believe, glass stream 17-foot bass boat with a 115 horse Evinrude on the back. So I've been out on it a whole bunch. Got it for a killer deal. So it needs a couple little things. It needs some bilge pumps, and it needs a new fish finder. But other than that, everything else works. I mean, it runs and gets on plane good and stuff. Trailer's nice. Trolling motor works. But so yeah, sweet little ride. We'll if I end up going out on it any this week, I'll take y'all along, show it off to you a little bit. But today, since we've got all this stuff getting out of here, I've got a project for my friends Steven and Angel Sherritt from the Zoot Me YouTube channel. We swapped some stuff out and keep in touch with each other, and I've sold him some stuff, and he needed a set of Samurai axles rebuilt, so went out there and got some. Rear end's already took apart. There's the axles and stuff. I had this one apart because I robbed the third out of it, but I've got another good third to go back into this one. So our plan is, and I'm not going to show y'all step by step on these because there's bunches of videos on YouTube. You know, the Low Range Off-Road gives a good run through on rebuilding these, and then Clint from CT Mad Mods, he just done one too that's real good. So I won't do like a big, I won't go explaining a whole lot on these, but we're going to rip them apart, do full reseal on them, all new bearings, and I'm going to clean them up super nice and do diff armor front and rear, and then I'm going to do a truss kit on the front and knuckle gussets and just get it real cleaned up, and probably spray them with some black paint so they're ready for him to come pick up. And I've also got, I don't know if I showed y'all this yet, but I've got the new piece for my drive shaft for my Samurai, and I got some new U-joints, and I got a couple spares too, so I'm going to throw this on, throw that back in my Sammy. I'm going to go ahead and build my pan hard bar setup to put on it, and I've got my heavy duty transfer case mount to stick on it, and I think I haven't been able to get a hold of the guy that done my cage work, but I think I might try and build a set of torsion bars for the rear and just fix my spring wrap issue myself. But I'm gonna have to knock it out this week, because this weekend we're taking y'all along to the Gulches in South Carolina. It's like Uari, but a lot more difficult and a lot more riding to do down there. So we're gonna do a weekend trip this weekend. It should be my Samurai, my dad's Jeep, Jangle, and he's driving his Samurai. Jangle's dad's bringing his Samurai, and then our buddy Hilton, that also lives down there like 15 minutes away from Jangle, he's bringing his new Sammy that he got. So be a bunch of Samurais in a Jeep, and we're gonna go down there and have a bunch of fun, try not to tear nothing up. But I've got to figure out my torsion bar stuff in the rear, which shouldn't be that hard. I've got some guys up the road that probably got some Heims and a little bit of tubing I can rob off of them, but I'm gonna do that. I got a diff vent to shove in there and run a hose, and then just make my 2 tabs for my harnesses. And this thing's done, ready for the rest of the season. We've got a couple more trips to go on, and then we'll probably put it up for the winter and do some more stuff with it. But I'm gonna get this thing pulled in, and then we'll start I don't know if I'll put you on time lapse or just a speeded video, but we'll get these blowed apart and hit them with the wire wheel and get them cleaned up. I'll at least get the housing done and ready, and then once our knuckle rebuild kits and stuff come in, we'll start cleaning everything up and shoving everything back together. But I'm gonna blow these apart and we'll get back with you. All right, so it's a new day, next day, and back down here, I've got these all cleaned up, pressure washed, wire wheeled, ready to roll. Everything's cleaned up, ready to be shoved back together. I've got, for the front axle, I've got a truss and knuckle gusset kit and a diff cover for the front. And we're gonna scratch all these up and get them welded on there. And then I've got a set of diff armor for the back. The rears don't really need trusses. All your beating's really happening on the front. But the rears, I am a firm believer of putting diff armor on, because I've smashed a bunch of rear diffs in that didn't have diff armor, like backing up off of a rock. So that, and they're only 40 bucks, or you can make your own. So they're super cheap. So I got one for the back too. I've got a full front end rebuild kit and new wheel bearings and seals for the rear. So we're gonna slam all this stuff together after I get everything welded on, slap some paint on this stuff, and these will be done today. And then we will get to work on this thing, because we're leaving in 2 days and I have not done anything. So I'm gonna have to cut this brake line mount off and move it up here somewhere to put to mount up my pan hard bar drop arm kit. So that'll go straight across the axle. So I've got a bunch of work to do with that. I still haven't figured out really how I want to do my torsion bars. I might just do like a simple anti-rat bar like old hot rods do for now, just to see how that works. But I'm just not really sure yet how I want to do it. So that'll be on the back burner. I've already got my new U-joint and my drive shaft put together. I just got to throw it back in and cut and weld on my transfer case mount. So all that'll be done, hopefully. And but I'm gonna set y'all up on a tripod and get all this stuff cut up, welded up, stuck together, everything nice and in spec. So let's get after it. Alright, so it's the next day down here in the shop, and we're gonna put these on the back burner because I'm waiting on the spring over axle kit. I didn't know that he had a spring over kit on his Samurai, so we've got one of those coming. We'll go ahead and knock these off and stick those on, but these are going on the back burner. He won't be home for probably a week and a half anyway, so we're gonna get these out of the way. We're gonna focus on this thing. I've got an idea of what I'm gonna do for the torsion bars, but I gotta run into town and get some stuff, so that'll be later. But right now, we're gonna go ahead and get this pan hard bar set up in the front. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off and put my piece right here on. Go ahead and weld a heim on that one side of the arm, and then go all the way across, take my measurements, weld the other piece on. This shouldn't take very long. And depending on our time, we might, my transfer case mount's fine, it's just a little tweaked, but if time allows it, we'll go ahead and swap that heavy duty mount on, but if not, it'll ride on this trip. But I'll run into town later after I get this finished up and get the torsion bar stuff. And I've also got these I cut off the other day. There's some pieces of Elijah's trusses for his rear links, and I cut the ends off of them, and these are what are going to weld onto my cage. Let's see. For the they'll probably go like this, for the harnesses to mount up to. So I'll drill a hole in those, weld those on real quick, and go ahead and throw the other side harness on, and all that'll be ready. And then the rest of it's just gonna be checking up on this thing, making sure everything's ready to roll. And yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all set up, and then get cracking on this front end. It's in there, on there, whatever you want to say. I don't know if y'all can. There's my piece mounted up there. Here I need to clean this up a little bit and just stick it back on there like that once I weld all this on. And then I've got it on over here. Everything's straight, well, except for that heim. Let's see. Everything's pretty straight across there. So yeah, we'll see how this works. Might end up having to cut that one off some and moving it up one, but whatever, because I don't want it hitting the spring pad. But I'm gonna get this all welded together, and then I'm gonna back this thing out, spin it around, weld my tabs on for my harness, clean them up, and then I'm gonna run into town and get what I need for the torsion bars that I'm gonna make. So yeah, about got this knocked out. So I made it back to the shop, and here is my idea. These are like adjuster bars for like 3-point on a tractor. So like it'll move your box blade up and down or angle it or whatever. What I'm gonna do is weld a fish plate on there, and then two pieces off there, and then right to there, And what it'll do is when the axle wants to start wrapping, it'll hold this to where it doesn't wrap and kill the springs. We're just going to try this out. If it works, good. If it don't, then I'd rather spend $100 trying than a couple $100, you know, having them built. So we're going to weld fish plates on there and get all these pieces cut out. I've already got them laid out with the plasma cutter. And then we're going to take a definite measurement to set both of them at, and then stick them on there and see how it goes. So we'll get you back on the tripod and fire it up. Well, here she is. I stayed up late and finished it last night. And I didn't film a whole lot because I dislocated my thumb, bent it backwards yesterday, and it's all swolled up and kind of hurts. So, and I was trying to do work with a bum hand, but pan hard. It's complete, looks good. Here's these bad boys. Those are done. Made those out of pieces for tractors. Let's see. Well, those are done. I don't know how well you can tell, but I've got a heavy duty transfer case mount in there now too. And because it was pulling away from the frame. And then I've got these just drilled holes and ran studs through there. So we'll bolt the harnesses in when we get down there. But yeah, so that's gonna be a wrap on this one. We're going wheeling. Wheeling trip will be on the next video because there's a bunch of stuff we're trying to do while we're down there. So we'll get on the road and see you in the next one.